cinema reviews. What is up, guys? Welcome to Boomer Base. Welcome to another After Cinema Reviews. Today we're here to talk about the new sports movie that's currently out in the cinema in the UK at the moment, and that is The Iron Claw. Wow, oh wow, I was blown away by this movie. This movie was one of the movies I was most looking forward to in 2024. It's in probably my top 5 anticipated films of the year, and it did not disappoint. So without further ado, let's get cracking. But before we get to the real content, if you end up liking what you see and want to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload. So, welcome back to another After Cinema Reviews. If you're new here to this, what we do is it's just raw thoughts straight after the cinema. I've just walked home, booted up the PC, and was straight talking to the microphone. And wow, this film was so sad and tragic. I have not experienced a film where so many times in a film did I just want to start blubbering in the cinema. It happened so many times. The story of the Von Erich brothers and the Von Erich family is so sad. So sad, and they captured that very well on the screen. Now, going into this film, much to maybe some of the dismay of the people that watched my Napoleon movie, again, I knew nothing about the Von Erich family or anything to do with this film coming into this, and I think that makes it better for me. I didn't know anything that was going to happen. I knew that there was going to be a tragedy, and before I continue, spoiler warning going forward. From watching the trailer, I thought it was going to be Kerry that killed himself first. I had no idea there was a brother even called Michael, and that blew me away, because I don't think you see him in the trailer, at least the trailers I've seen. But wow, oh wow, Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, and Holt McCallany, they stole the fucking screen. Like, Lily James was great, Stanley Simmons as Michael was also great. You know, nothing particularly wrong with their roles, but those 4 stole the screen. Zac Efron, he's a bit of a potato actor. He doesn't always do the most amazing or critically acclaimed acting, but he did a very good job at capturing someone that, to pardon the pun, has gone through the ringer and masks and hides that so well after being in such an abusive relationship, not only with his dad, but with himself, and not doing what he needed to be and almost becoming what he despised almost without even realising it. Jeremy Allen White, since Shameless, he's been getting the recognition he deserves, and he clapped it out of the park in this film. Holy moly. Having to deal with losing his leg in an accident, you know, taking up the reins for his dad, bringing home the heavyweight title for his dad, you know, trying to just have his dad be proud of him and really mean it, and then just to succumb to drug abuse and things, and then to sadly take his own life. It was very sad, very, very sad. And then, just even the sweet bit at the end where it was the kind of like depicting heaven scene with the brothers and the brother, I think his name was Jack, the one that had died when he was very young. That scene was very, very, very sweet. David, played by Harris Dickinson, it was nice to see him since I've watched Scrapper. I haven't watched him in too many films, to be honest, so it was nice to see him in something else, in a film that I was very excited for. By all means, he took the microphone and he owned it, like his dad had mentioned in the film. And during the wedding scene, when he was throwing up blood, it was like, oh, maybe this is the person that's going to take their life, the one that you were pushing too hard, Dad, as I think he says in, I think Kevin's character, Zach, says in the trailer that at least I watched. But yes, very sad for him to go for the heavyweight title in Japan, then die to a ruptured spleen. I have no idea if that was from the puking and this was an early sign of it, or if he just genuinely was pushing himself too hard and because of this he ruptured his spleen and died. Holt McCallany, who plays Fritz, the only thing I think I've really seen him in is Mindhunter and I think Fight Club. But wow. wow. It was a hard watch with him. He played the character so well, which was really it was hard to watch just because I was watching great acting, and on one side it was like, boom, he is dominating this character, but on the other hand, I was just immersed in the story and just fully hating him. Like, you just are a fucking prick, pal. You're putting so much pressure on your kids to bring something that you never got, and it's that same sort of trope of trying to, push what he couldn't have onto his kids, and it just, wow, it ruined so many lives, and it was horrible. It was horrible to watch, and the relationship between Fritz and Doris, just how they treated the brothers, it was never, whenever they had a problem, and like at the beginning of the film, you saw Kevin come to his mum, and she was just like, "Well, deal with it with your brothers," and it was just that happened towards the end with Kerry as well, when he killed himself. But damn, 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 damn. When I first saw Michael on the screen, I thought he was going to be the one that killed himself for being sort of the ugly duckling, the one that didn't fit in, and ugh. The dad was so hard on him as well. Like, he just didn't fit in. He wasn't allowed to do what he'd do. He did, really. He liked playing music, but then he also wanted to be with his brothers. And then he finally started getting in the ring and then injured himself. Surgery got complicated and he ended up being in a coma and pretty much just like half brain dead, like not functioning very well. And I think from the film he ended up taking his own life as well. It wasn't really clarified fully. It looked like suicide, and I'm fairly sure it was suicide, but oh wow, like there's been plenty of films in the past that have certainly made me cry and made me cry umpteen more times than this, but it was just such a hard loss. As someone that's dealt with a lot of grief, it was just hard to just keep watching this family go through this curse, the Von Erichsen or Eric curse, and like, damn, I really felt for Zac Efron's character Kevin. Like, I literally was just telling him, I was almost praying that he didn't take his own life or just have it dissolve. I got really sad when him and his wife Pam split up, after he nearly had everything that he wanted. And then finally, at the end, he knocked at the door, rekindled, sadly before, Kerry killed himself and things, but like, he was living a better life now. With his fight with Ric Flair where he nearly lost it, I think he escaped his demons a little bit, enough to get out of there, and it was just such a nice moment to watch. And then just at the end bit when the film had actually finished, getting to see that what he'd wished for in the beginning of the film, like having a big ranch, all his family coming living and staying with him, just getting to see and hear that at the end, that just then nearly made me cry thinking about it as well. Like, it was so sweet to watch a film go through so much tragedy. It was so sweet, and I'm almost lost for words, to be honest. It was everything I could have asked for. I didn't even realize it was going to be so tragic, and I've not talked about any of the wrestling at all. The wrestling scenes are really cool. I was sat there living my youth. I used to like wrestling as a kid. I used to like it, God, up until the age of about 14, 15, I think. And somehow I managed to escape that it was fake up until that point. Once I found out that it was like fake in the sense of it was all like rigged and things, it took a lot of the magic out of it for me. And I think I started on TNA, which I think today is now called Impact Wrestling. And then I kind of went between TNA and Impact Wrestling and WWE at the time. And God, this was sort of like the 2007 up to probably like the 2013 era. And it just felt nice. It felt nice reliving all of that. I loved the sort of late 60s and 70s and I think beginning of the 80s vibe. Everything looked right. Everything felt right. I loved the brotherly bond between all of them. It was really wholesome to watch, and I enjoyed that. I like that Michael Harney, who played Bill Mercer, he's in Orange is the New Black. It was nice to just see him in a sort of a big film. But I think I'm slowly coming to realise that I really do like sports films as a whole, like Coach Carter, Remember the Titans, The Fighter, The Warrior, things like that. They're all filmed. I'm just typing in like all sports films. Like I can include films where it's to do with sports and cars as well. Like Ford versus Ferrari, Rush, things like that are really cool. Like just having a quick look. I've seen Rocky. I've seen Invictus. I've seen that. I'd count The Longest Yard. I would consider that. The Fighter. See, I've not seen Southpaw. That's a film that I do want to watch. Same with 42. But I just love that I can get so much from a sports film. Like, it gives me so much joy, but I go through tragedy a lot. It hits hard, it hits home. It feels like it deals with some harsher things and harsher realities that some films just kind of miss. And especially when it's a team event like Coach Carter, Remember the Titans, Invictus, I love when they come together. I love when they sort of overcome those obstacles and hurdles. And Kevin as a character, he overcame so many hurdles. At the end, when he just started crying on his ranch and his boys came over and just told him it was okay to cry, and it was just the line just saying he was like, I'm a brother and I don't have any brothers anymore. Tears were welling up in my eyes. It was hard to watch, and things like, God blimey, it was hard to watch. I like that I got to hear some names I did recognise. I did recognise Ric Flair's name, Dusty Rhodes' name. You know, those are some nice things. Like, I'm not a big wrestling fan. Like, I know others might enjoy this a lot more than myself, but top to bottom, I had such a good time with this film. Despite it being so tragic and sad, it was just, I was engrossed. Before we got to the tragedy, I had no idea who was going for titles. I had no idea who was or going to get picked or win or anything like that. I was engrossed in the story of the Von Erich brothers, and it was just, I'm so glad it was as good as I thought it was going to be, because I had really high hopes for Napoleon, and despite it looking good, it sucked in a lot of ways. And this film looked good. The music was excellent. Just the story overall was great, and I'm so happy for it. But no, that's it. I don't think I can say much more without just saying the same things, really. But really good, 10 out of 10 film. So far, my favourite film that I've seen of 2024. And I know we're only midway through February, but it is what it is. But yes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in to another After Cinema Reviews. Take care, toodle pip, all the best.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. Click the button to keep watching, or click the other video for more videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.